You are known as the product of HLCC Immune Society.
That debate, I think, was one of the best debates I've ever seen. अक्षय कुमार को पान मसाला की ऐड करनी चाहिए थी कि नहीं?
आपको पता नहीं होता दैट आप क्या करोगे आगे.
So I felt यार ये तो गलत हो गया. I'm saying this on the podcast. I don't tell it to my team as well.
Today we are thrilled to have a special guest with us, Aditya Bhatt. Sir completed his education from DPA school where he won numerous debate competitions. Later he also organized the Arguefest with 100 participants in his first edition. In the last edition he also catered 240 participants. With that immense success, he also later contributed in organizing the LJSL and the DICT MUN. Aditya, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So I was just curious to know that you have such a long lineup of events coming up.
Yes.
So how are you managing and coping up with the same?
So first it was difficult when I was having my graduation. Now I just finished my graduation, so I have ample of time in my hand. Also, I have decided to dedicate 1 year of my life for the Turning Point community and Turning Point Institute, where I am working as an educator right now. So I feel that time is not something that is a challenge that I'm facing. It is collaboration and understanding of how to organize debates consequently and having more students participate in it.
Very well. We are often heard that you are known as the product of HLCC Immune Society because you started your debating from HLCC and you've also now chaired and been the executive board in HLCC.
Yes.
So could you please share that how was that journey from chairing at HLCC and now being an executive board at it?
Yeah. So I think my very first MUN was at HLCC. I used to study at Shade CN Vidyalaya,
Right.
where MUN culture was something which was very far from anything you'd imagine. So we used to have inter-house debates, but for the first time I experienced something very different because you were supposed to represent a country and discuss all international problems across the panel of students who are all willing to participate, who have researched. So I was a delegate of Israel in the very first conference in the committee of UNHRC.
Main portfolio.
Yeah, and I had absolutely no idea of how foreign policy used to work, but I always was eloquent because of because of my nature and how I used to participate in different events back at Shade CN as well. So I stood up on stage and I was like, "Shalom, Kauri, my friends. The world is in peril," and it was beautiful. And at some point I expected to win, but I did not get anything out of it because I had no research, I had no understanding of how United Nations works. I simply wrote some speeches and went down with it. So it also gave me a very important understanding that you need to understand the agenda, you need to research, and you need to bring something you need to contribute to a committee, bring something forward on table. And I think that was that was turning point of my life where I had to learn and I decided that every time I speak up I'll contribute to a conversation. Every time I bring something new I have to make sure that there is a change in the dynamic. So HLCC 1.0 where I had a head injury as well. So in the after movie there is a small clip of mine where I am having my hands extended with my head injury. And it was something which is very momentous for me. So HLCC 1.0, the HLCC where I participated back in 2017 was a very memorable experience. After which I decided that I had to participate in every conference that is happening. So apart from HLCC also I participated in a lot of private conferences, some institutional conferences, but HL was the first one. And following which I also participated in 2 other conferences where I did 3 UN committees and 2 Indian committees. I think the first high commendation I won in Indian committee was also in HLCC. And then the last conference I participated was under Vipin Bhai where I won the best delegate. Post which I already had chairing experience after a point of time where they gave me an opportunity to be an executive board member alongside Vipin Bhai in Gujarat Legislative Assembly, which was again a beautiful experience. I got a chance to sit where I had been expecting and aspiring to be like those who had led me and guided me throughout this process. So HL was again a wholesome experience. 6 years of me debating and participating, starting and ending from there.
And it's not very common that people speak up in their first conference itself. So that being said that it was your first conference, having such a portfolio, Israel is not a like easy portfolio to debate. So
Yes.
you can come up in various situations. आपको पता नहीं होता that आप क्या करोगे आगे. But then just because you delivered so many speeches, having the courage is also a very big thing. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
And following to that, what lessons did you learn after facing so many challenges, both professionally and in your personal life?
So I think there are two challenges basically if I have to address them. First, in my personal life, the only challenge that has always been was I was never satisfied with the education I was getting, because I got into good colleges all over India, but because I had to go to abroad for post graduation, I had decided that I'd rather stay in Ahmedabad and understand my father's business, so as to get a clarity whether I want to stay in India in the first place or not. So I took admission in a college where I did not enjoy studying. I was happy with how I performed in examinations, but academic life at that point of time did not appeal to me that much because of the education system and the obvious loopholes that we have at certain extent. So my idea of getting to start Turning Point community or to start Arguefest somewhere down the line came from the feeling that I was unproductive and I need to do something productive in the time that I have. And another professional challenge that I faced was always keeping up with my team. So I was blessed with the best team that I had because those students were very dedicated and somewhere down the line wanted to push forward come what may. But then again, having as many as people on board, because I wanted to make my community inclusive. I wanted to have as many people who wanted to associate to be on board, while others feeling left out, letting other new entrants come in, making them feel like home. This is a challenge that I'm facing, I will face, and I have faced in past as well. But overall, participating in MUNs, getting to know people in debate teaches you that art of socializing and being accommodative. And that is what I learned and which I'm implementing in my professional life as well, to be able to accommodate everyone, to be able to make a family out of the work experience that you have, and to overall associate with like-minded individuals who are ready to lend a hand in the projects that you're working on.
Another major effect that I thought was like you had studied in ICSE board until 10th grade.
No, so I was in ICSE board until 4th grade.
And then you transitioned to CN.
Yeah,
and then
Shared
later
CN Vidyalaya.
DPS.
And then DPS.
Yeah.
So yeah, the transition was very weird.
Yeah.
Considering in ICSE, like we were compulsorily asked to speak in English.
Right.
So all the students were in such background, they were all fluent in English. We had that sort of culture as well, that when you're having lunch, you have to,
be quiet and
be
converse
quiet,
in
sit in the
Yeah.
classroom, not talk, of course. Have a spread and then eat the lunchbox. And in lunchbox, you'll always have a proper meal.
Yeah.
Right, roti sabzi khani padegi.
Right.
While when I went to CN, all the dynamics changed.
Obviously.
Right, everyone is talking in Gujarati. They are running around while eating food. Some people have mamra in the lunch box.
Right.
Some people simply don't bring lunch box. They eat from others. So the entire culture it shifted.
Right.
And there people did not used to speak in English a lot. So there is a Gujarati mein kevat, Ujjad gaam mein eranda pradhan. So because I was so fluent in English, automatically every competition, every participation, I was put forward. Okay, this person is capable of doing it. He is eloquent in nature. And after CN gave me a lot of exposure again. It was a school with very rich cultural values. It had a beautiful campus, and I found the best peers in that particular school, where I got to learn a lot from them, because all of them were IIT, IIM aspirants.
Oh.
So they were very hardworking. Now that was something that I lacked. While I was very talented in certain fields, I did not have that element of hard work in it, which I learned from them. And after that, when I got to DPS, I learned competition. The third school was a field of competition where everyone had very high aims.
Totally
And they
different.
were all somewhere down the line in my field. While in CN, I found people who wanted to do engineering and management or medicine.
Yeah.
All those who I met in DPS were free people from my field. Wanted to add in PR, wanted to do humanities, wanted to pursue psychology, or wanted to say do political science. So through their practices, I learned a lot, and they wanted to participate everywhere.
A
तो
diverse
तब
background.
हाँ तब मुझे पता चला कि स्कूल के बाहर भी इवेंट्स होती है और वहाँ भी पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहिए. So while everyone would go outside, their life outside the school was so much. I never knew life outside of school. It was school, home. Right? These people were very independent. They had a lifestyle of their own where they would, hang out with their friends outside. They'd go to clubs, Karnavati, O7 and all. They'd meet new people every day. They'll try to find MUNs and
Full
debates to do.
socializing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that life I was very devoid of, being in CN. So CN gave me a good platform to learn, to get exposure. But DPS was whole another experience which I enjoyed. So through DPS, I think I came to know about the World School of Debate, where I participated, first volunteered, then participated and won. I was also very close to being a director of debate there. I also did a lot of MUNs. I won a lot of MUNs. I went outside Gujarat to do MUNs. And overall, DPS was where I got my exposure to learn these things, the set of skill set that I have now.
So if I would ask you that life at CN or life at DPS, what would you prefer?
See, again, what is important for me and what I want is very different. Because I'd always prefer my life at CN.
Okay.
Because CN,
Life at CN.
yeah, life at CN was very different. Considering that it was very open, the culture was beautiful, the campus was beautiful, the friends I had are still the friends I hang out with every day. But DPS had certain elements that made me the person I am today. It pushed me to do certain things which I won't have if I was in that preconditioning or that environment which I was not pushed into. So DPS certainly has a effect.
So 60-40?
60-40, yeah.
And I've been aware that you also hold the green card of the United States.
Acha, okay. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So why are you not planning to settle there anytime soon?
So that is again a question that has haunted me for years, because my family was very clear. If someone gets a green card, in our family we are Gujarati people.
Yeah.
Right, so if in our family anyone gets green card, so it's a go.
Of course,
Now
yeah.
there is no point of staying in India.
ત્યાં જ રહેવાનું છે.
કે તમારે પૈસા ખર્ચવાના નથી ત્યાં ઓછા, because you get
Of course.
everything in cheaper cost and you can
Definitely.
settle there easily. You don't have
You
any
can even earn more.
you don't have any baggages.
Right.
And employability also increases. So my family was clear. Although my dad had this hidden desire that he should not go, right? But he would never say it out loud.
Parent love.
Yeah, parent love, and he wanted me to take over his business. But
Okay.
he would never say that. He's never pushed me to do that. He's always supported that tu ja US, you do this. He's suggested me degrees,
Okay.
right? But now I'll tell you something. I, through the Turning Point community which I started, discovered the beauty and satisfaction of teaching.
Okay.
I have discovered that there is a fulfillment in the field of academics which is not very usual for everyone. The achievement you feel when you have made a change in certain person's life, the satisfaction that you have when not just a thank you, but when you can see that there is a improvement, that is something that you can't get. And me being from humanities field, I felt that I did not have a lot of scope in US. Right, considering that there's a lot of scope, of course.
Yeah.
But when you have an established, I won't say a business, but when you have an established entity in Ahmedabad, when you like that, right?
You
When
prefer
my
that.
father has put 25 years of work in that, then I'd rather not waste his efforts and make something big out of it, because that is something I'm passionate about. Now I'll have to forego my passion and work for something that is for survival, considering I'm coming from a middle class, upper middle class family, right? So investing a lot of money in US is simply not possible. So for me, staying in India made much more sense. And again, above all, one factor that always came to my mind was that I love my country.
Acha.
Today, contributing my country, I can also contribute by being a foreign diaspora, by being an NRI also I can contribute to my country, no doubt. But it is just that the concept of brain drain stuck with me, that if you find yourself to be capable, and if you are capable of earning money and living a good life in Ahmedabad or India, then I'd rather contribute right from home and help more and more people from where I am. So today I am running a debate community. Hopefully in coming time I'll be running a youth student community, and over time I'll also be involved in charity work, and I want to contribute in many ways than one. Let God decide that.
Two different individuals sitting here. I want to go
Achha,
abroad.
you want to go
I'm
abroad?
settling
You are very
abroad.
clear.
Very clear. Also, I've heard that you are in the family business right now
Yes.
with your father. So you won't consider doing the job in अभी job area में नहीं जाओगे आप.
देखो अभी अब now I'll be a hypocrite. Okay.
Okay.
People who do jobs, they have very good reason to run abroad. Indian job culture is not as strong. Okay, people doing jobs in India, it is going to be difficult for them. But in my case, I was very clear I want to do business, right, in whatever field. Considering first I am a Gujarati, so that comes.
धंधो.
धंधो जिसे family दी जावे, right? And my dad calls it payday. Okay, today all the people who are very rich, who are making money, are those who have maintained that payday, right? Because it is cumulative efforts of every family member's work.
Joint effort.
જોઈન્ટ એફર્ટ કે આજે દાદાએ કામ કર્યું એ જ કામ પપ્પાએ કન્ટિન્યુ કર્યું ત્યારે મોટું થયું ને હવે તું કન્ટિન્યુ કરીશ તો વધારે મોટું
હજી મોટું થશે.
રાઈટ સો માય ફાધર વોઝ અ ફર્સ્ટ જનરેશન એન્ટરપ્રેન્યોર એન્ડ હી સ્ટાર્ટેડ ફ્રોમ નથિંગ scratch and we did not even have that sort of financial background where we could grow to an extent. So he started from a very small place. वो बेड पे बैठ के दो बच्चों को पढ़ाते थे and he used to find students for tuition, and from tuition and teaching students he developed an entire new methodology of English, right? So now the way he teaches English, okay, let me give you a understanding. He is an English teacher, spoken English we teach. Now the way he teaches English is very different, because today the conventional form of English 12 प्रकार के noun, 9 प्रकार के tense, 12 प्रकार के tense, 9 प्रकार के noun, 6 प्रकार के adjective, that does not help you to learn speak English, right? It's the rote learning, right? So today an entire new method has been devised by him, which I think is very unique in its own nature. So today I feel that is what I've inherited, the idea. Now that idea has been utilized to an extent. My father is doing good, but I feel that idea should not be left alone. There must be development in it. While I do not plan to do what he does right now,
it should not be restricted.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm telling you, I do not plan to join my family business in that sort.
Okay.
Right now, I'm supporting my family as I have to, because I want to.
Yeah.
Right. If I plan to stay in that field, then observing and participating in that field is important. But I plan to do so much more. I have my field expanded. There is a lot of things that I have to do. And sky is the limit. And my dad is very supportive about it. He has pushed me to do MBA even after I am earning right now. I'm earning good. I'm also helping my family in the business. And apart from that, I am doing a lot of other productive things.
Yeah.
But I choose to do my MBA after 1 year, post which I'll decide whether exactly what I plan to do. But again, business is a safety net which has helped me to pursue my passions. And somewhere down the line, I believe that what my father has built is going to give me a head start in life, no matter how different it is from the aspirations that I hold. That is there.
So आप जब MBA करोगे,
हाँ.
श्योर करोगे?
Yes.
तो आप अहमदाबाद में करोगे या इंडिया में करोगे या US में करोगे?
So that is something that I have yet to decide. So
Okay,
I haven't
okay.
given up my green card yet.
Okay.
So I will be deciding whether I want to do my MBA abroad or whether I want to do it from a very reputed college.
Right.
My first aim is always going to be IIM Ahmedabad.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
obviously.
I am also looking forward to the prospect of getting into MICA.
Okay.
But I have 1 year to plan out to study as well. So that I'll decide on a later stage. But somewhere down the line, right now, I am actively participating in Turning Point.
Yeah.
The primary reason being to get clarity as to what is more lucrative for me. Participating in MBA somewhere outside, getting knowledge, getting that peer understanding, getting placement, or whether to stay in Ahmedabad, working again the way I did in graduation, focusing on my community, focusing on the Turning Point, while pursuing MBA from somewhere and getting both the things simultaneously. But again, that is something I have yet to decide based on the fruits that I get out of the work that I'm doing right now.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. It's a go with the flow.
So you have the TPI, the Turning Point Institute,
Yes.
right? So मेरे को जानना है कि यह सच अ ग्रेट टीम,
Yeah.
बहुत बड़ी टीम है आपकी, अच्छा सबका बॉन्डिंग, आई हैव सीन द रील्स एंड एवरीथिंग. सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू नो दैट आप उनको कैसे मोटिवेट करते हो?
Okay, so surprisingly, I've never had to say that.
Okay.
The motivation has always come inbound. But yeah, there are a lot of disputes. There are
Right.
problems, enough problems already. But again, when you are running a community, it never started off as a community. I was working so that somewhere down the line मेरे को फायदा हो आगे.
हाँ.
When I started it out. But over time I realized that community work has so much potential and there is a selfless happiness out of it. Right? Okay, when you're just working and having students participate and enjoy. So today our aim has never been to make profits, although we do make profits. Right? We have made sufficient profits to keep the community going. But the aim was always to provide them quality over quantity,
Yeah,
to get them
always.
to get them something different,
Yeah.
and to put them in an environment, a new environment altogether, where they are not just participating, but they feel like they are part of something new. Right? That is where the birth of Arguefest was as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah.
But primarily, the team is together because they want to contribute. In our events, we generally do not have a lot of emphasis on the positions they get. It is purely a hierarchy of work where they come, they work, and if they feel like working, then they'll be given a leadership position considering that they have worked enough. Which is how every organization works. But there is no defined hierarchy, there is no positions that we allot.
Yeah.
So, their work is purely based on the fascination कि यार ये बहुत मस्त कर रहे हैं कुछ,
मजा आ रहा है करने में.
मजा आ रहा है करने में.
नया है.
Second, the idea to socialize, make friends.
Yeah, of course.
And thirdly, to show to their parents.
हम
कि
कुछ
देखो,
हम कर
we
रहे
are
हैं.
doing something new.
Yeah.
This is something offbeat, and we have built it.
Same,
And
yeah.
one of the ideas that I put forward, which was very clear to me, the moment I changed the name, Turning Point Community. As Turning Point Community is something I started myself.
Okay.
Right? Something where I had the leadership when I started out. One thing that was very clear was, okay, this is a community owned by everyone. Okay, today you go to a school, you tell to your friends, you own that community.
This is my community.
Okay, this is my community.
Yeah.
Because community can never have an ownership. That is why I said cut that out.
Right,
Because
yeah.
community cannot have an ownership.
Yeah.
It can only have leadership that can change, that can be changed. So today when I choose to pursue my MBA, or today if I choose to do something different in my life, then all I have to do is pass the baton. Right? This does not live and die with me. This passes on. And that is why I changed it to community. I wanted this idea to live as long as it can.
You've also obviously been so enthusiastic about organizing such debates.
Yes.
So what drives you mad that you have, मतलब आप Arguefest coming up right now. So what
Yeah.
has driven you crazy that मतलब आपने कैसे सोचा that Arguefest में जाए हम and then you continue अभी 4.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be very honest, okay?
Yeah.
My first event, Arguefest 1.0, was not out of passion or not out of because I wanted to do something. It was because I organized a workshop. And in that workshop, I found 15 students who had trained and mentored to be able to speak well in public speaking. They were all very happy with the fruits they got out of the workshop. And there were other 10 to 15 people who were helping me organize that workshop. नहीं phone करके यार तुम आओ workshop में.
हाँ.
Point of references.
हाँ.
So I had this bunch of 20 to 30 people who now had no work. And I earned a lot out of workshop. So I felt यार ये तो गलत हो गया. Yeah, they did not get anything out of it. And they were also very excited. And somewhere down the line I felt that the team that worked for it did not get to participate in the workshop. Right? Their participation was very negligible.
So this was about the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I decided that we should do something which first encourages them.
Yeah.
Okay, they have done something. And also which makes them very happy. कि यार मजा आया organize करने में. So we kept very minimal fee. I think 400 rupees was the fee in the first Arguefest. And we asked them कि we are organizing this debate. This is your debate. Let us organize it together. So every day we used to meet at office. We used to discuss different topics, and then we used to call students कि यार आओ participate करना है.
ये
Now
topic
I
है.
expected 40 to 50 students to turn out, and we had 100 students
Yeah.
in mere 20 days.
Yeah.
So it was very exciting. I did not have space. मेरे 30 जन का classroom है. अब 30 जन के classroom में how am I supposed to fit 100 people?
Yeah.
So we had time slots arranged.
Okay.
And I promise you, it was during this discussion with my team of what topics to decide, how we used to debate while doing it. It was during the debates that were happening of students. I fell in love with this format. Right? I absolutely enjoyed the way they participated. I absolutely enjoyed the way they discussed and deliberated through the process. And I fell in love with the idea of Arguefest because it was a very unconventional debate. Now I have participated in multiple formats in my debating tenure. I have done presidential debates, I have done Asian parliamentary, I have participated in British parliamentary, I have done multiple debates, I have done turncoat debates as well. And I have won in multiple formats. So based on that, I had devised this basic idea 2v2 debates, उसके बाद group discussion, उसके बाद 1v1. Right? उसमें थोड़े एलिमेंट्स हर एक डिबेट के होंगे. फन रहेगा. And it turned out to be a lot more fun than I expected.
Yeah.
So one of the winners, I think, finalist of that Arguefest 1.0, Rohan Raval. He was a very nice, he was junior to me, 2 years younger I guess. He came to me and he was like, Adi bhai, we have some collaboration with the AMA and we want to do it on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll have a collaboration where 2 events will work together simultaneously. And while we have a Shark Tank panel sitting and they'll be discussing everything, and after that we'll have the finals debate. And I was also very happy with the idea. First of all, I was very reluctant to participate because I had to go to US right after 2 days of Arguefest 2.0. So Tark Shastra was a name they gave, and very beautiful name at that. And in that debate we had 15 days to make it work. But in that first debate they enjoyed so much that right after Arguefest 1.0, in that 1 month का भी span नहीं होगा 2 debate के बीच में. In those 15 days, we were able to gather 128 students to participate. And those 128 students again became our base participation के इतने हो तो मजा आया because that debate I think was one of the best debates I've ever seen. Considering it was unhinged, it had no restrictions. There was a set rules of procedure, and they were allowed to open up as well. They were allowed to formally debate as well. In the group discussion round, we discussed literally everything. We discussed क्या अक्षय कुमार को पान मसाला की ऐड करनी चाहिए थी कि नहीं. We discussed random hypothetical scenarios के कबूतर के चरक the excrete of a pigeon is toxic. तो क्या उन सबको मार देना चाहिए? Should there be given a free license to kill all the pigeons? And now it's a ridiculous idea. Yeah. But we asked everyone to justify it. Opinion दो. Yeah, we justified कि नहीं तुम कैसे implement करोगे इसे. We had a quote of Joseph Stalin कि one death is a tragedy, millions of deaths is a statistic. Now the quote is barbaric. It is not a very quote that is able to manage the audience. Audience would obviously be against it. We asked all of them to justify it. He said he was right. How are you going to prove? Play the devil's advocate. So these sort of games we played in 2.0 and it was huge success. We had 400 people audience. Again, thanks to the Bharat Youth Convention who collaborated with us. Yeah. They also helped us a lot in managing the entire event. And it was wonderful. The way it turned out, the way people enjoyed. I think the audience grew as the debate commenced. Generally when a event starts, धीरे धीरे audience जाती है. हमारे में audience आ रही है. Because लोग फोन करके बुला रहे थे भाई यहाँ पे कुछ जबरदस्त हो रहा है, please come. मजा आएगा देखने. Yeah, so after that there was no turning back. I think after 2.0, I went to US for 3 months. I had planned to stay there. Now I'm saying this on the podcast. I don't tell it to my team as well. That I had no intentions of coming back. I went there. I said कि मैं जाऊँगा. I'll get an admission into community college. I'll work there parallel. I'll get enough credits. And then I'll decide whether I want to go to come to India or not. So I'll stay there minimum 1 or 2 years. And then I'll come back, and then I might not come back. That is different. But these students who were so excited about 2.0 were like, Adi bhai, कुछ और करना है क्या? ये करना है क्या? I organized 2 online events while I was in US. Yeah, while I was in US, just to keep them running. while they were putting me in constant dilemma. So they said, let us organize something else. And I put forward 3.0. I said, you guys do it. I'll manage everything from here. And then I felt like coming back. So somewhere down the line, these event organizing, okay, be it childish, be it my desire to be at a part of something that I created, but it pulled me to India. And also I had other reasons to come back. But one of the contributing factors always remained the fact that the team was so excited to participate. And then we had 3.0, which was also a good success.
Yeah. So अभी थोड़ा शिफ्ट करते हैं.
हाँ.
थोड़ा अभी पॉलिटिकल साइड पे आते हैं.
अच्छा, ओके.
अभी जो इलेक्शन हुए, रिजल्ट्स आए हैं, इट्स वेरी फ्रेश अभी तो.
Yeah, it's very fresh stuff.
कुछ अभी आपका फ्रेश ओपिनियन होगा.
By the time ये पॉडकास्ट रिलीज होगा, let me just tell you, ये परसों इलेक्शन के रिजल्ट आए.
हाँ, but like still, आपके लिए तो सब अभी किसी से आपने डिस्कस भी नहीं किया. आई डोंट थिंक सो. बहुत
I have discussed obviously. बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं, पर तुरंत जैसे इलेक्शन के रिजल्ट आए, 2 फोन मैंने घुमाए, we were discussing के यार how
मजा आ रहा था आपको देखने में सब.
Yeah, it is fun. See, I'll tell you, election results is a culture that my family developed.
Okay.
कि हर बार इलेक्शन हो, गुजरात में हो, कर्नाटक में हो, हम पोल्स शुरू हो जाते हैं टीवी पे, and we are listening to it, we are seeing it, we are observing, we are sharing opinions. Sometimes there are disputes.
Yeah.
Because we have, okay, I won't say which party, but in our family there is a general consensus that this party should win, like every family generally has.
Yeah.
But me being a young student with multiple understanding opinions and friends and peers, sometimes I have conflicting opinions which I share. And I'm like, चल यार तो ठीक है, this is also workable.
And आपके पास तो काफी strong political viewpoint है.
Yeah, and so does my father, so does my dadi.
Okay.
My grandmother, my father and me, we often debate on the current issues that happen.
अनाथ हो જોઈએ.
આ બરાબર હતું, આ મને લાગે છે ગેમ રમાઈ ગઈ, આવું થઈ ગયું. So we have that discussion. So it is fun. So I like that culture. So I enjoy elections. I prefer watching election polls over IPL final.
Oh.
I don't aim to make controversies.
Unpopular opinion.
Controversial opinion.
Also, talking about India, we
Yeah.
have a reservation system here.
Yes.
So, what is your opinion about that?
I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
We need to understand that reservation came out of a necessity. That we need to uplift caste. But in reservation there was a factor कि 10 साल के बाद खत्म हो जाएगा. There was a fixed tenure. But then the constitution was amended to extend the tenure. I am okay with that. जब तक result ना आए तब तक तुम extend करते रहो result को. But today, are reservations actually benefiting? Is it actually creating a change in the social structure? Or is there a fundamental flaw in the very system? That is what we need to understand.
Right.
Now, again, you know how you expect every voter to vote for their MLA or their MP, right? Don't vote for the party, vote for MP. That is a common understanding which every political literate individual carries, right? Similarly, because they have worked for you, right? So you have to assess their work. Similarly, an individual would judge reservation from his perspective. Now, for me being a Brahmin, I am obviously at a disadvantage because I am not bearing the fruits of reservation, but I am contributing to the country's growth by accepting it, right?
Yeah. Is there any need of the caste census according to you, मतलब जो manifesto है INC का?
Yes. See, I do not believe that any party is putting forward something or not. But caste census is something I feel should be done. Because you should not shy away from keeping a check on what development you have done. If there is a policy that is implemented on the basis of caste, if the purpose of it is to uplift caste, then a caste census would, it is going to benefit. Right. And I think our society is mature enough, our voters are mature enough to understand and not take angles out of it. But that is again for the government to decide. Now, any impartial government would not want a caste census in a way that it is not benefiting the common people. So there must be considerations taken into account. But my honest perspective would say why not.
Yeah.
Caste census is going to help, and I think it is a necessity at this point, considering that this particular system has been put to place for so long, and we are not able to deduce the results of the same. So maybe this can give us a perspective.
So it's not making any harm. So ठीक है.
How many? It is necessity. Well, I said it in that way,
Okay.
right? But yes, it should be there.
Should. Okay, fine. Got your point. So obviously you are looking forward to organize more events in the future, more debating competitions.
Yes.
So, मतलब, what are your future aspirations apart from organizing such debates?
So future, somehow you've already discussed what I'm going to do in future.
Okay.
So I'll plan pursuing to study further, right? Hopefully from a premier institution.
Right.
And while that I want to continue the work, I want to pass the baton, I want to keep the community work going on. I want the student community in Ahmedabad to evolve. Hopefully
To
I'll
grow
be
more.
able to, hopefully I'll be able to take it on to the Gujarat community as well.
Okay.
And at the same point, I feel like somewhere down the line, I found my line that is in the field of education.
In the same field you want to grow.
Yeah, education field is something where I have learned that not only can you exponentially grow in terms of business,
And you enjoy that.
but you also enjoy
Yeah.
the fruits and the fulfillment part of it.
You're getting satisfaction from that.
Definitely.
So we are done with the educational and serious
But there's
conversations.
more to it. There's more to it.
No. We're done with the serious talks, Abhi.
All right.
We'll just move on to another segment, which is the this
Okay.
or that segment, in which I'll
This
give
or
you
that, okay.
2 options. And आपको फटाफट बोलना है कि आप क्या प्रेफर करते हो.
Very interesting. Okay.
Okay? GLA और लोकसभा.
GLA.
Very clear.
हाँ.
तुरंत.
Turant. See, because the mother tongue factor.
Okay.
Okay, today, no matter how important issues discussed in Lok Sabha are over GLA, considering in a federal structure, Gujarat Legislative Assembly might be discussing something that is pertaining to Gujarat, while Lok Sabha discusses national issues at hand. Debating in Gujarati is
अलग मजा
something
है.
के जिसका अलग
अलग feel आती है.
feel आती
Feel
है.
आती है.
Right, and not just that. While you are debating in your language, you are also very much. It is apparent to you.
Connect
And
कर सकते
you
हो.
can connect
Yeah.
with people. You can express yourself much more eloquently. For Hindi, I'll have to make efforts.
अच्छा.
To,
सोच के बोलना
हाँ,
पड़ेगा.
because see again in Lok Sabha and GLA has one common factor, that rhetorics and articulation of your words is very important, right? So while in Lok Sabha, to make an impact for the people, I have to make an effort,
Right.
right? मुझे वो हिंदी के कुछ शब्द पढ़ने पड़ेंगे, मुझे उस तरीके से एक फ्लो लाना पड़ेगा.
Speech सोचना
हाँ.
पड़ेगा. हाँ.
When in Gujarati, I am myself. I know the content. And now I'm going to speak in flow.
બોલી જ જવું છે.
हाँ, હવે મારું આખું એક direction આવી
ફાવી
ગયું
ગયું
છે.
છે.
Forward is different. This is enjoying the debate, because now you don't have to put any effort in articulation. All you have to do is work on the content, and now you are talking in your mother tongue. Plus, it is unconventional. It is something that was not very much prevalent in the Indian circuit. Now I think because of which a lot of people are being influenced as well.
Yeah.
But I had not participated in a GLA a lot. The first time I participated in GLA was because मुझे लगा जीतना easy होगा, क्योंकि ये कमेटी में कोई जाता नहीं है और मैं गुजराती हूँ, which I did win.
Okay.
But the reason I went was that. But now I have started to love the committee
Okay.
because बोलो मजा आ रहा है, right? But me being a person who has a good command over Indian committees, I love Lok Sabha as well. Both the committees are good. But
Again
GLA
60-40.
No, GLA
अच्छा,
wins with a
Okay.
landslide.
अच्छे से.
For me, yeah.
Okay. Delegating or being an executive board?
Delegate.
Delegate.
You always love to delegate. Executive board has its own perks. It has its own merit. But I delegate even after being an executive board in multiple conferences. Still, I was a delegate in multiple conferences. That's okay.
Debating or the GD round?
GD round.
GD round. More fun, more opinions.
So if we have a good person to moderate it, then.
Yeah, okay. Fair
Because
enough.
I'd love to participate in the GD round, but I'm moderating. Because I have seen students participate in the GD round that I organize, and they have a lot of fun. And it's so fun to see them work themselves out.
Enthoo भी हो जाते थोड़े.
Oh, जोश हो जाता है.
ज़्यादा.
Yeah. So GD round.
Starting your own business or continuing your family business?
So this is a very, see, depends okay, whether your family business has the contentions that you like. See, I'll be very honest, starting your own business is always more fulfilling. Because today it's your baby, you've taken something up in your hand,
Right.
you've passionately groomed it and made it your life, and now you're super proud of it. In family business, there are two things: either you're forced or pushed into it, or you find to like it over time and then you
Continue.
yeah, you
हाँ.
assimilate in the process and you enjoy it.
बड़ा कर रहे थे.
बड़ा करो तुम
हाँ.
उसको, right? But in either case, I'd say family business is more productive.
Okay.
It is more sensible option,
Yeah.
and it is something that you should look forward to.
Right.
But always starting your own business, I think, is more fun. It's more thrilling. It has a sense of pride in it as well.
No. So what would you do? Just one.
Starting your own business.
Own. Okay. Startup.
Start.
Delegating under Dipen Bhaiya or chairing with Dipen Bhaiya?
Delegating other Dipen Bhai.
Any day.
Yeah, any day. Simple reason, Dipen Bhai himself is capable of chairing a committee, right? So I'll have to find parts where I can.
He
contribute.
also becomes the delegate.
Yeah,
after-
he also becomes a delegate, right?
Yeah, वो भी कोई placard उठा के.
Yeah, so as an executive board member with Dipen Bhaiya, you will have to find chances to be able to contribute to committee. Because
Yeah.
as an executive board member, you try to find opportunities where your knowledge or your insights for the committee can be helpful. But when you already have a qualified individual who has so many insights, who is so excited and so enthusiastic about the process, because he's very happy while chairing, right?
He's full into it. Huh?
Yeah, so rather than that, getting those insights as a delegate
Yeah.
and rather debating and participating in that front is more fun. Indian committees are, I won't say aggressive,
Yeah.
Indian committees are super enthusiastic because they all are very comfortable. Because they are all
देखने में बहुत
speaking their
मजा-
own languages.
देखने में भी बहुत मजा आता है. When you
they are
come
talking
up
about
together,
they're
हाँ.
talking about something. Okay, this is something I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not. One of the reasons Indian committees are more outspoken or loud is because सब अपने parents से opinion लेके आते हैं.
हाँ, घर पे
इसमें-
बात
हाँ,
होती है. हाँ.
क्योंकि क्या होता है कि पापा को पूछेंगे जाके कि पापा वो डिस्कस થાય છે one
હું
nation
શું
one
બોલું?
election હું શું બોલું
હું શું બોલું?
beat Lok Sabha beat GLA.
Yeah.
So Papa will have a lot of opinions. So now he is getting a filtered nice opinion out of it.
Right.
Right, and they are able to express beat Congress, beat BJP, beat Aam Aadmi Party, beat Telangana Desam Party, beat Telugu Desam Party, beat any party, South, North, East, West. You have opinions, and now you are here to express them.
Yeah.
It is easier to understand the frame. The flow is distinct. It is simple enough to understand what party you belong to, how you are supposed to react to it. While in United Nations, you have to understand that
Foreign policies. हाँ.
there's a lot of things, there's a lot of paraphrasers that you have to take care
Yeah.
of. Also, there are so many things that you need to know. You need to also understand the laws coinciding. You need to understand the nature of polity in different countries. You need to understand the foreign policy of your own country, and you also have to
Your
take care
relation,
of
हाँ.
the history of United Nations and how this particular committee is supposed to function.
Right.
Because the functioning of a committee like ECOSOC or DISEC might be very different from that of UNSC and WHO.
Yeah.
All four
Totally.
very different.
Yeah.
So you have to understand the nature of the committee as well.
Right.
Right. So एक बार अगर तुम्हारा इंडियन कमेटी में हाथ बैठ जाता है, फिर एक कंफर्ट आ जाती है.
Hmm.
It is not कि which committee is better. It is that which committee are you able to perform better. Right. And I find it easier in Indian committee as I have to speak in my mother tongue or in Hindi, which is again a tongue which I am very comfortable
Yeah.
with. Right.
Fluent with, yeah.
And I'm also fluent in English, as you can see right now. But there's a difference.
वो
The
मजा आती है
matter of
बोलने.
comfort is different.
Yeah, मजा
हाँ.
आता है डिस्कस करने में. So this or that खत्म.
Okay, चलो बढ़िया.
Okay. अभी 7 seconds पे जाते हैं.
What is 7 seconds?
I'll ask you some questions. I'll have 4 questions.
Uh-huh.
And timer लगाएंगे हम 7
Okay.
seconds का. You have to answer them in 7 seconds.
Okay.
Ready? मतलब आप prepare.
We will ask a question. I have to answer the question in 7 seconds.
Under 7 seconds, yeah.
Okay, very very interesting. Very interesting. Let's go.
Done, ready?
Yeah.
I can get the timer.
Yeah, I have.
3 favorite committees of HLCCMN's 10th edition.
10th edition.
Yeah, upcoming.
HRC, GLA, and Lok Sabha.
Lok Sabha.
These are very basic committees which I'm comfortable with, and I enjoy participating in them as well.
Okay. Next one. Describe your life with 3 songs.
Ek Tara, from Wake Up Set, Jay Jay Kara from Bahubali,
Okay.
and I'd say Kabira from Ye Jawani Diwani.
Kabira सबका favorite.
Yeah.
Done. 3 MLAs of GLA.
Bhupendra Patel, Sukharam Rathwa, Geniman Thakur.
Great, obviously.